everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
A few months ago, I released my first Steam game, Colourblind, and I hated it. A lot of the devlogs I made usually depict the process of developing my games as fun, but because of the sloppy inconsistency of development, there were times where I would be freaking coding at the speed of light, or I would be just staring at my screen and not really doing much. But overall, here is a chart of my motivation as time went on. As you can see, it started pretty good, but in the end, you can't even see the graph. You see what I mean? So naturally, I did half expect the game to somewhat flop. I did also promise to update the game, but unfortunately, I will not. There's nothing else to it. However, I promised a much better sequel to the game, which will expand upon the world of Colourblind. The sequel will be called Colourblind Neo. The story would pick up where the first game left off, with the team landing on Earth, which is now entirely a wasteland full of zombie robots. The plot would be to team up with the Resistance to discover the mysteries of the zombie robots, and to hopefully turn them back into normal robots. And the robots would... Jesus Christ, how long is this thing? Now, I want you to imagine 2 other games, 2 even bigger sequels after that. I'm not kidding. 2 other sequels. The third game will be exploring the outer depths of space and eventually trigger some very unfortunate events that would change the entire universe. This game will be called Colourblind Eclipse. The fourth game will be the finale where all hell breaks loose in the galaxy, and there will be a vast all-out galactic war amongst every robot in the system. The game will be called Colourblind Encrypted. Jesus Christ, who wrote this? But the amount of time I would have needed would be so long that GTA 6 would have came out. It's safe to say that these sequels are very unlikely to be made anytime soon, or even ever, but who knows? Maybe if Colourblind does get some traction again or some miracle happens, I might make them. On the topic of the future, I have a couple of games coming up in mind, but it's just that every time I boot up my computer, I pretty much just stare at it and I don't really know what to do. I'm reluctant to start any long-term projects that would take years to make because I realize I'm not really good at that. So I want to focus on just committing to small projects that will take a few days. I also want to focus more on the horror genre because I've made a few horror games that were picked up by algorithms and blew up, so that tends to work in my favor. There will definitely be a Christmas horror game and one other horror game I'll release in a few days from the release of this video, and I'll also upload devlogs of them. So please subscribe so I can buy GTA 6 and join our Discord. And I don't know how to end this video, so just...